the screen and everything today. Special treatment. Got a lot of wires there behind your head. Better hope that you don't have any water close by. Charles, how you doing today?
Good. Very well.
Well, your soccer picks on the show yesterday did not make us rich, that's for sure. So we're looking for some retribution here. We'd like some winners today.
Yeah, definitely. So we went with 3 draws yesterday, and none of them panned out. Juventus ended up getting a red card, which didn't really help them keep the match competitive. A bunch of stuff didn't go our way, but there's some Europa today that have kind of been eyeing up. So yesterday we went with 3 draws, which were basically all kind of like plus 300. And the whole goal behind that was to kind of keep the bankroll at its kind of current state, hopefully just win 1 out of 3. That didn't happen. But, in general, soccer draws are very good. That's why they're usually very highly rated on our site. But today we're going to kind of change it up a little bit and go with some kind of more heavy favorites, I guess you could say, in terms of like the prices are not, those big underdog lines of plus 300, plus 400. So today, basically picking like 2 top Premier League teams and a Bundesliga team to compete in the Europa League matches today. I think there's like maybe 16 matches in total. It's quite a bit. But going with Hoffenheim, which is a Bundesliga team, probably like a top 5 Bundesliga.
Are we going to look at your screen? Is that what we're doing here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So people were saying that I didn't ask you enough insightful questions yesterday.
Okay.
Oh, I'm clicking on the wrong thing. I'm clicking on your name underneath you instead of changing the screens. It's like, because I call it, I use really original naming conventions here for my different scenes, on the screens that I change to, and I use this one is called Charles. So it's also your name, which is underneath you on the screen. So shit happens. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, so basically, let's see what we got here. We'll start this over. So I filtered on Europa League, right? So this is just for Soccer Europa, and then I'm just going to kind of do a quick search here. So here's Tottenham. This is, kind of our worst price. Hoffenheim, which is kind of our best price, which is that Bundesliga team I was talking about. And then let's try to find the other one, Leicester City. So you have basically 2 Premier League teams here and then 1 Bundesliga team. This is kind of the opposite of what we went for yesterday with the, kind of going after huge underdogs yesterday. Today, we're going to play it a little bit more conservatively and go with very strong teams up against much weaker teams. If, assuming they don't start kind of, backups and things like that, these guys, we should win 2 out of 3 of these. No problem. So that's what we're going to go with today. I'm going to add some comments in here and submit those picks against my account. So we'll be able to look at them tomorrow, see how they did.
All right. Let me go back to our regular screen and we'll do our recap, and then we'll talk about how everybody can get spread knowledge and what they can expect once they get it. So just to recap today's picks, do you want to recap those real quickly for everyone?
Yeah, so we went with Hoffenheim from the Bundesliga, Tottenham from Premier League, and then Leicester City from Premier League as well in the Europa League.
Okay, so with spread knowledge, though, it covers all of the different sports. Let me go back to Charles's screen here, and we'll show you this. So across the top of the screen, if you can see it right across the top there, it says NFL, college football. I don't have my glasses on, but I'll put them on because even the monitor that's there, it's like I'm old and crappy, so I got to see it this way. But you can see there's all these different soccer leagues. He's got football. I think he's got some hidden. It says more sports there in blue. What other sports do you cover? You can see there's tennis, there's esports. He's got all different kinds of tennis. And then, so there's football, hockey used to be on there somewhere. And then there's basketball, NBA, college. Is that because we're out of hockey season? It doesn't show up there? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, this is just active stuff we have on the board.
So yeah, because baseball's not on there either. So it's like, so generally you'll see like all the sports that are there's more sports than this that it covers, but then you can see across the top there that it right parallel with Charles's head. It says a rating system that it puts on all the different picks. So he's covering the A plus. There it is, and that you can see is the strongest pick. And then A is a strong pick, B is a solid pick, C is neutral. He's changed the system here, and it's kind of made it a little bit more intuitive, right, for people like me. Because I struggled with it because. Right, when you're a C student, you always think that, wow, man, C plus is pretty good, right? So and a B, but for I guess people that are smarter than me, which is I guess a good portion of the world, and just ask anyone, they'll tell you that A's and A pluses. So the way we used to do the show is I used to just give out A and A plus picks. I would do like 2 or 3 of them, and we would just keep the record. But we have Charles here to more walk us through the software, which he's doing pretty brisk pace. We'll have to slow down the pace as we get into some of these other games. As we get into the more of the sports that I understand a little better, like the footballs and basketballs of the world. College basketball starts November 25th. I'll be able to ask a little bit more questions about these rating systems and stuff. With soccer, I struggle. Someone said I should get Chris Ruffalo to do the soccer with you, but I don't think Chris wants to do 3 shows a day. He already does 2. So, but in the meantime, we'll just get by doing it this way, and I'll poke around some other types of questions about the software. So the number one thing that I know people are looking for are picks. Would you say that these are picks or that this is just data?
Yeah, I mean, they're more kind of recommendations on profitability. So the A's and the B's are the profitable picks, whereas the other letters aren't like profitable in a lot of ways. So what we try to do is separate the profitable picks from the not profitable picks, and then we encourage our users to kind of decide, because our machines can't factor in certain information. Like, for example, MLB postseason was pretty difficult for our machines to predict this year, but there's also a lot of like last minute changes happening with pitchers, and sort of like the whole game can change in an hour. So that's very difficult for machines to predict. Even the most advanced models would struggle with MLB postseason. But what we really try to do here is show you which picks are profitable. And the picks that are profitable are the ones that you should kind of stick to. And if you stick to those, what we're saying is we'll boost your winning percentage by 5-10 points in the long run. We can't. Yeah, go ahead.
So could you use these same things that you use with spread knowledge for other things? Like if you wanted to take some of the data that you use for this and finding value, right, and probability, wouldn't you be able to use this for the stock market, or wouldn't you be able to use this for so here's an example for me and something that's pretty prominent right now and in my life, which totally backed one of these things that people are like, oh, Mitch, did this and this, and he's no. I get lucky, just like you guys do sometimes. I had someone that for years paid me in Bitcoin, and I complained like crazy about it because I didn't know what it was back in the day, and back when it was way low, like in the hundreds, like the low hundreds, and I didn't know what it was. And that they said, well, it's easier for us to pay you in this Bitcoin. And I said, well, just send me a check like we agreed to. And they said, well, send us, set up this Bitcoin account and we'll send you the thing. So finally I set it up and I just left. I didn't know what it was, so I just let it sit there. And they just paid me in this Bitcoins. Okay, and they just paid it. And I didn't know anything about it. I just let it sit there. I'd written down the information because they said, make sure you hold on to this information because you can't get it back when you open your account. And a few years ago, someone said to me, hey, did you see the Bitcoins? I was like, no, I didn't see it. And it went through the roof. I was like, really? And I looked in my account and I was like, oh shit, man. It's like I can move to Hawaii or something, And basically what's happened is now Bitcoin is now even at a new level. Even though I've sold a good portion of mine, I still have some. So it's like, would this be able to? But it's like the other day it was at 13,800. And it was like, man, I should sell it right here and now and just be done. Is there a way? Can this thing be used to predict these cryptocurrencies or stock market or anything else?
Yeah, I mean, at its core, we use some machine learning models, which are just statistical models that optimize the input data to kind of predict the output data. So, I mean, you could apply it to any market that has, buy sell type, uh, approach to it. I mean, this is as much a sports trading app as you'll see out there, right? I mean, this is really who it's for. I mean, especially with the in-game stuff. I mean, the in-game stuff is our most profitable, picks by far. I mean, for a lot of sports, they win 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 4 times, and
well, that could be used like a stock market alert. Because I tell you, when I saw that 13,800 on that Bitcoin, I was just ready to pull the trigger, at least sell half. Because it was like, wow. It's always nice to have a little bit. Because it's like, I paired it down a couple times, and every time it's gone, straight up. But it's like, man, I could just use some help. But anyways, it was just a roundabout question. But Charles will be back tomorrow. We'll have more sports of some kind. I'm sure there's tennis and soccer and football and all kinds of stuff. And of course, the weekend is on the way. Next week, I'm going to be changing around the times of my shows. Where I live, we don't have daylight savings time. So we don't move our clocks. So everything moving around screws things up. So what we generally do is in the fall, we fall backward and our show starts a half hour earlier or so. So these shows will likely move to 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. If that works with Charles. I haven't talked to him about it before, so let's put him on the spot here. And our regular show will move to 10 a.m. Eastern time. Thanks a lot, Charles, for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you guys in about 10 minutes with Bitler, Zawacki, Ruffalo. Ann's going to be on to try and class up the place a little bit. We'll see you guys later.